Greetings, salutations, and all good things in between. What's up, everyone? Matt here. Happy Friday. I hope you all had a good week and you're looking forward to this weekend. Hope you're staying safe with all that crazy heat wave stuff we got going on. Anyways, let's get to it. So what do we got on the docket for this week? So the 4.2 version of the shopping cart sample app is finally released. It's out. There's a link in the description down below if you want to copy it. I'm going to review some of the comments from last week. AppSheet has come up with a pretty cool little thing for if you got teams. There's some cool things you can do now. And for the very end, I'm going to take the shopping cart and I'm going to do another upgrade. Someone asked, how could we add categories to the products? And so that's what we're going to do today. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. Stick around. Let me know if you have any questions at the end of this live stream. I'm going to start doing a little section at the end where if you got questions, put them in the chat and I'll answer them at the end. Anyways, let's go. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to cover, right, is what sort of like little projects and things that I got going on. So the first big major thing to talk about, 4.2 sample app, right? So I'm really kind of liking how this little stream thing is kind of going on where, you know, each week I take the little thing that I was working on and I do another little thing to it. This is actually kind of working out pretty dope. And so, yeah, so each week I'm going to just keep kind of putting out another little thing and you'll have the sample app from last week. I'll make that available at least before the live stream like I did today. My goal is to really kind of get them out a little earlier, you know what I mean? So that you have more time to deal with them before the live stream starts. But yeah, anyways, so that's out. It's on my portfolio. You can go check it out over there. Now, the only other thing that I want to touch on, mention during this first part of the live stream is the YouTube schedule. So I've been looking at the analytics of my page and I noticed that there's two hot spots, if you will, of content when everybody's engaging with my content on the channel, and that's Tuesdays and Fridays. That's actually why I chose to do everything on Friday. But, you know, schedules being what they are, I got other things that I'm doing. I kind of would like to have a life, you know how it is. So I'm going to shift that out. So instead of having to do everything down on the one day on a Friday, I'm going to now release my pre-recorded videos on Tuesday. So the thing that I'm going to do for this one is how can I take so last week I put out a video about how to do an enhanced dashboard. This week, next week, I guess next week's video is going to be how can I take the enhanced dashboard that I've made, like how can I get the results from the dashboard and print that? How can I export it to a CSV? How could I print it inside a PDF or something? Basically, how could I do a report table? So that's the video that's coming out on Tuesday. Watch for that. That's all I really got for updates right now. Everything's, you know, slow moving here at the beginning. It's really kind of like a soft, slow release. At some point in the next few months when I kind of get all these wrinkles figured out, we'll do a major hard release and do some like big kind of thing with it, whatever. But anyways, let's move on to comments from this week. So there were some pretty good comments from the in the YouTube community. The first one that I want to kind of settle on here. Sorry, trying to open my YouTube channel, but it's not being nice. No, that's not. All right, we'll do it over here. That's not being nice over there. Thanks a lot. There we go. So, yeah, a lot of people are really liking this enhanced dashboard. That's really kind of, you know, the thing that I try and pay attention to. What are the people asking, not only on my channel, but like there's some other AppSheet channels. There's obviously AppSheetTraining.com. They got some pretty good stuff over there. There's also a few other smaller channels that I kind of keep my eye out on just because I like to see what people are doing. And yeah, and in the community, obviously. So I like to keep an eye out for what are people asking a lot of, like, what is the current dominating question that people are asking? And it seems recently that it's been this enhanced dashboard type of thing. Like they like the interactive dashboard, but it's not enough. I want to do more with it. So that's why I put out the video. And as I look through the comments, there's a lot of people saying, oh my God, this is exactly what I've been looking for. But then as I get in here, I start finding other things like this one, where it's like, just in time, I'm starting to do a thing. Maybe you could expand on this, on how to download the viewed items in a CSV. This is not the only one in here that's like this. There's a couple more, which I've already kind of commented on before. So that's really kind of what spurred on like the next video. Do you know what I mean? So I try and tailor my videos for what y'all are asking for. So just keep it coming. But yeah, so that's really the bulk of the comments. I had another one from, if I go back here, not to that one, if I go here, yeah, here we are. Last time I was working on the 4.2, right? The 4.2 shopping cart app to advance it. And after Brad was looking through the 4.1 and he was trying to advance it himself, he noticed that there was no enum list in the order table that links to the order details. What he's really referring to there is the ability in the order to say, these are the products that I want. And that's not how the shopping cart sample app is set up. If you're looking for that sort of setup and you want to see how does that sort of thing work, if you head on over to the looping with action sample app that I have, in that one, it's the same kind of order details with products type of setup as the shopping cart app, but the difference with that one is the way in which products are added to the app. With that one, you start the order, you select what products you want to add, and then there's a loop that executes that adds a product for each thing that you selected in the dropdown. The shopping cart app itself, the shopping cart is a different style of interaction. It's more geared towards, I'm going to be like maybe walking around somewhere, or like it's not, I know the exact list that I need. It's more over time, I want to add products to my order. So it's really like when I was building it, like the thing that I had in my mind, like the scenario that I was really kind of envisioning was, all right, I'm in like a warehouse and I need to walk around and do an order, or I'm in a store and I need to make a new order for stock, right? So like that's what I was thinking is I'm the person doing the order, so like it's going to be over time. That's why the tap functionality of this shopping cart series works really well for that, because I can look at the list of products, tap the thing that I want. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's why in the shopping cart you don't have that list. It's a different sort of interaction flow. That's all of the comments that I have here. We're kind of burning through things pretty quick this time, right? It's all right. We got a nice little walkthrough to do at the end. Let's move on. AppSheet had some pretty good news this week. So the biggest release that was put out by AppSheet this week was the something for teams. So unless you're part of like using the teams, the My Teams functionality for AppSheet, there's not much for you this week. If we just go down the line here, yesterday, July 21st, there was an update, if you will, to the return value to Google Apps Script. It's been deployed to 50% of free users. So if you want to have the ability to check out the ability to call a script and then get a value back and use that in further automations, if you want that, you're going to have to create a free account. And that's the place where you'll be able to test it out and see what's what. On your paid account, it's not deployed to that yet. But that came out, and there's some pretty good documentation about like what you could do with it. It's pretty straightforward, but you know, yeah. The other thing that they added was the ability to localize the no items selected text. So that's that little bit of text that's around, there's all these system strings that are around. This is one of those new things that they've added in where there's no items selected. You can now parameterize that. So if you want to change it from like item selected to you didn't select anything, bro, whatever you wanted to do, you could do it. Localization can be kind of fun. As far as rollout changes, the unlinked automation components is now visible to 100% of free users and 75% of paid users. So you can check that out. That's pretty fun. It's I've oh whoa, what? I don't have access to access denied to that page. Well, that's interesting. What is this? Like, whoa. The community just got really weird. Just suddenly. Like, I don't know what just happened. The community just got really weird. Okay. Alright, there we go. All I wanted to do was get to the announcements page. No idea where it was trying to send me. Like, can I get to it now? No? Oh, that's interesting. Well, hey, I hope someone's paying it. Someone on the team's watching, I hope. Yeah. All right, well, never mind. I was gonna go to the page and show you some of they had some good screenshots on there, but I guess we won't. Moving on. All right, on the 20th, nothing. Unlinked components had a deployment release. On the 19th, there was nothing. On the 18th, this is where if you utilize AppSheet Teams, this could be pretty handy for you. So you have the ability to set a session timeout. So a lot of times, right, for admin types, they really like the ability to say you can log in for 2 hours, and then after that, you need to log in again. The real benefit of this is like if you're building a HIPAA compliant system or any of those like data laws, right? To where, you got to follow certain laws for data for like protected healthcare stuff or like social security numbers or things like that. Yeah, it's nice to be able to have a way to say, okay, the system will log the user out after a set amount of time. And so that's what this new feature that they have here is that you can control how long somebody has access to the AppSheet services, meaning logging into the editor, right? It's pretty nice. Gives you the ability to expire people out, which is something that's absolutely required for certain kind of legal requirements. So this is a step in that nice direction. And other than that, that's it for the news. We are just burning through this live stream, y'all. So what are we moving on to now? All right, we're going to move on to a Patreon question. And so if I go on here and I say I took a screenshot of it so we could take a look at it. So Brad said, okay, so the objective is to filter a list of products based on a form entry. So, for example, you choose food or beverage as a field on the form, and the list of products returned in the shopping cart is filtered by that choice. Potentially, you may have a supplier, which is both food and beverage supplier. So we need to be able to accommodate this as well. So we're talking about adding in the ability of categories to the products. So this is what I'm going to do for the rest of this stream. I'm going to take the 4.2 shopping cart sample app and I'm going to upgrade it yet again. I'm loving it. I'm going to add in now the ability for, we're going to add add categories to the products, right? And then inside the inside the order, right, I'll have the ability for you to specify, well, what categories do you want to see the products for? And then we will live filter that list of customer products to show only those. Pretty straightforward process, not too many complicated bits to it, but if you would like to follow along with this, all you got to do is there's a link down below to the 4.2 sample app. Head on over there and make a copy of it real quick, and then you can follow along. All right, so the thing that we need to do first is obviously get to our app. So I've already made a copy of the sample app, and I'm ready to go myself. So the thing that I'm gonna do, first things we gotta do is we need to modify two tables, to be honest with you. Since we have a blueprint table of the product, and then we have the actual like target table here of customer products, what we need to do is we need to include a category on both of these tables, right? And so I guess the easiest way to do this is to just go to the data source and add a new column to each of these. So we'll start on the products. So I have like product name. So in front of the name, I'm gonna put the category. And then I need to add some stuff in here so that the system has at least something to work with. So like I'll just say cat 1, and like I'll copy that into like these, and then like cat 2, and I'll copy this around, and then like cat 3 for the rest. Obviously this is all just, you know, sample, stand-in, whatever, but you get the idea. So I got it on the products table, so I can come back to my app, go to my products, and regenerate that. And while that's cooking, I can come over here to products, my customer products table. We need to add in a customer, so we have the product link. So I could add in, so this is one of those things where it's like, do I want to duplicate that piece of data in my database, or do I want to just rely on the fact that I can set the product in a category, and then like every customer's version of that product, right? Because again, we're dealing with a blueprint table here, right? So like every copy of the product just uses the products category. If I was to do that, I would just dereference the value. I wouldn't create a column inside my table. But then that means that the person, that users can't change the category. Like the product is locked into the category that the main product is in. The customer's product could never change. And I'm more of the type, like, I kind of like to give people the ability to modify things, you know what I mean? So like, I like flexibility. So for this, I'm gonna go the route of, I'm gonna copy the product category into the customer product. That way they can change it if they want. So I need a space in the customer products for the customer product category. Customer product category. And it looks like, yep, all of these are just 1 through 20, 1 through 20, 1 through 20. Okay, so that makes it easy, because what I was gonna have to do is I was gonna have to match up what original product, right, with its original, with the original category that I put back here. Which I guess, you know, is a thing that you're gonna eventually have to learn how to do. Like some people are ninjas in spreadsheets already, and they know how to do this sort of like heavy duty slicing and dicing, but I'll go over it really quick, because why not? So the thing that you can do, there's a couple ways you could do this. The way that I usually just center on this is like, I'm just gonna use query. Because this is something that is really, really powerful for you to figure out. It uses the select language, which is pretty close to AppSheets, which is really close to SQL Server. So yeah, so I'm going to query. The first thing I need is, what do I want to query? So I want to query that. Okay. And then I want to select, let's see, call2, where call1 equals quote, and if we go back here, where it equals this, and double quote, single quote, limit 1, double quote, close. All right, something like that. I can't remember it. Yeah, okay, so it can't find column 2. All right, let's see. So what do I want to do then? If I can't find column 2, did I spell it wrong? Maybe I just need to do like find B where A equals that. Okay, close. Equals this. Okay, what is it doing? So it looks like it's pulling everything out of... It's pulling everything. Why? I put limit 1. Why isn't it limiting it to 1? Okay, well, let's try this then. Look up this value here and give me this. Yeah, that worked. So we'll just stick with that one. I prefer query, but whatever. If we just do that, it should... Yep, but for some reason, product 19 and 20... Okay, well, whatever. They're category 1, so I can just copy that over. And just do that. Just do that. Oops. And just do that. All right, now the thing I got to do is I've got to solidify this because this is all formula based and I don't want that. I need this to be a solid value. So I'm going to copy the column. I'm going to select the column, the whole thing, copy it, and then I'm going to go over here and do a space, do a paste special, values only. Boom. Now it's just a value inside the thing. The categories appropriately match up with the categories that they're supposed to. This doesn't look right though. Like I can tell because I like over here 1 2 3 1 2 3. The lookup didn't work right. All right, so I'm just gonna do this the quick and dirty way. Whoop! We're just gonna copy this range, and I'm just because like I know these are in 1 through 20 numerical order, and if I come over here, these are in 1 through 20 numerical order. So I can just paste that range right here and it matches. And then I can do the same thing here for the next group and the same thing here for the next group. And now they match. Whatever, problem solved. Okay. I now have the appropriate category for my customer products. Now I need to go back to my app and grab that new column. So we regenerate the customer products. And when this comes back, the only thing I need to do now is I never went back and set up that customer products column inside AppSheet. This is something that a lot of people forget to do. They'll regenerate, they'll grab a new column, and then they'll just keep moving on. And they don't go back and set up the column. So that's the first thing I'm going to do because like AppSheet set this to an enum with a base, with base type text with these 3 categories as like hard-coded options. No thanks. It was a good idea. But I'd rather have allow other values, autocomplete with a drop down. I want to require so that you have to do a category. Good to go. Okay, that's that one. If we go to the customer products, so we have the customer product category. Yep, and AppSheet did the same thing. So we can just kind of sudo undo that. I'm going to make this required. Okay, so all of the settings, just like I did on the other product table, except this one, I'm going to give it an initial value where I'm going to say, from the product, give me, if I go to the product table, the category, in square brackets. Dereference the category here. Now this is the initial value so that somebody can change this if they want. Just kind of like the key, right? All right, we got. So now we have for my products, they now specify. If I go products, here we go. I now have a category. And so I'm going to do a quick little view update here. Might as well, right? I'm going to group these by this category because I think that'll look nice. Yeah. And then you can even do like group and group, right? So now when I come into the products, I can see, well, what categories do we have? Select that, and now we got all of these. All right. So, got everything put in place. So now the thing that we could do is, I guess on this customer products, I could group this as well, right? By the category. Sure, and I'll leave it like that because I don't want people to have to double click when they get here to be like, oh, these, well, maybe, because that makes it kind of nice, makes it kind of clean. I just wish that these category buttons were a little bigger. You know what I mean? Like, I'm using the deck view because I like how big this is. It'd be kind of dope if this was a little bigger. You know, maybe just 50% larger. Just give it a little more space, make the text a little bit bigger. It'd be dope. But anyways, I think I'll stick with that just because it's kind of nice, because to give you the ability to like filter the category in a way on the when you're selecting what products you want to see. You can click all and just see them all if you want. All right, yeah, I'll leave it like that. All right. So we now have the space to hold the category that a product belongs to. So the next thing that we got to do is implement a way for you to select on the order that you're doing, what categories do you want to see. So let's do that now. First thing I'll do is I'm going to go to my order table, and I need to create a space to allow my users to do this. And so just going to get rid of a couple of empty rows here. The thing I need is, so you'll select what customer you want. You have the creation date. And then I think I'll put after the creation date, we have like order categories. Sure. Nice and simple, right? Go back, go to our column list, orders, and grab the new thing. All right, now the idea with this column is that like I'm gonna make this a field that the user can live edit on the building order. I want them to be able to like actively use this as a filter throughout the system. Do you get what I mean? So first, you gotta set up the column type. So on the orders, we go to this categories. So like it just set it as a text. That's not what I need. I need it to be an enum, base type text. I'll give it buttons for now. It might need to shrink, but we'll give it buttons for now. And the valid if, this is gonna be, I'm gonna say, okay, give me the product table. And from the product table, give me all the categories. Just like that. And that should, actually, you know what I'm gonna do is we're going to sort this, and I'm going to unique this. I don't necessarily need the unique part, but I'll do it anyways. So now I know that they're, yeah, I did mean that one. So now they're in order and there's no duplicates. Wait for it to validate. Come on, there you go. All right. So now this type is the right type. Okay, now if I go and I look at this order on the detail view here, so I want to make it visible. So, excuse me. First thing I need to do is actually I need to go to the slice that for this view that I'm looking at. I need to add the new column to the slice. You can see this is a common thing when you're working with slices. If you build a slice and then after the fact you add in columns, most of the time those columns don't make it back inside the slice. The slice kind of switches over to this custom column settings, and your thing is not on the list. Now, what you could come down here to the add button and just add in the thing that you want, or you could just click all. I prefer all. It's pretty clean. You know what I mean? So do that, and then if you go back to your view, you'll find it's now going to be available for me to select from in here. And I want to put this, yeah, like above the status. Okay, and I need to make it a quick edit so they can modify it. Yeah. Okay, whoop, wrong type. So I made this in enum. It's not what I want. You could do that, I guess, if you wanted to restrict this so that they could only select one category. I would like them to be able to select many. So that's all you got to do is change the column type from enum to enum list. That's it. And now I can do that. When you save, the validation should be happy. Yeah, see, now it'll work. Okay. So now I can select 2 categories. I can select 3, I can select however many categories that I want inside my order. And the thing that I want to do now is I need to make it so that whatever I select inside the building order, that selection is now applied to the customer products that I see inside the main dropdown. You get what I mean? So when I'm here, I have a building order. I can go to this customer products list. I want to filter this so that it only shows me whatever I've selected here. Let's do that. So it's all going to be driven by this slice that powers the view over here. So we just click the table link. That'll take us right to this slice. You can see this is of the customer products table, which doesn't include the new column that I did. So I'm going to do that really quick so I get all the columns inside this slice. And then we just need to modify this formula. So this formula is partially correct. What we've basically done is we've added in more criteria now on top of this. So we just need to add more criteria to the formula. The way that we do this, right, is we just come in here, and this needs to be an and statement. And so we say and then whatever was originally there, leave that there. Just put a comma at the end of it and drop down to a new line. And the thing that we got to do now is we got to call the value from that building order slice. So we have the order that we're working on. We have that stored as a global variable inside this building orders slice. So all we've got to do in order to get what categories did the person select is call the value out of this slice, this global variable, right? So copy the name of the slice, go back to where we were working. This is customer products for the building orders, right? Okay, so in here, and then what I want to do is, so this is the name of the slice, which is a slice of the order table. So it's holding like this record right here, basically, because if you look at all of these statuses, they're all set to complete, but this one here is the only one. Sorry, still trying to figure out the keyboard shortcuts for this thing. Nope, not that one. This one, there we go. This one is in the building status. So we've got a slice that's holding that one. That's what this building order slice is. And so the idea then is that all we need to do is call any detail out of this record, like this guy right here, right? And so simply copy the name of the column that you want the value for and put that inside square brackets there. You got to kind of fiddle with this a little bit, because if you were to just leave it like this, that is not going to work, because it's technically a list of lists. And we're really kind of getting into some weeds type stuff here, but like AppSheet's really hyper specific about types for certain things. A lot of it's really kind of loosey goosey, which is nice, but certain things are really specific. And then lists and references are like the two things where you have to have the types correct, otherwise it's going to cause problems. And so when you do something like this, what you're really getting here is a list of lists, because order categories, if I go back here, you can see the value here is a list, right? It's a comma separated thing. And so when I call that value this way, this thing here, this type of syntax produces a list. And so if I leave it like this, it's a list of lists. And you can't do that because you can't operate on it. So what do you have to do? You have to reformat that little bit of text that you have here. Okay, it's pretty simple. At the beginning of this, the thing that I'll do is I'll start a split. And then I also like to throw in a concatenate as well. And so you split, concatenate. On the end of it, then we close the concatenate, do a comma, and then now, so that closes the concatenate itself. And so what that does is it says, cool, take whatever value you got for the building order table call thing that you did, right? And just write that out into a text value. And so that's where you get the space, comma, space separator actually as part of the value. And so then, because we have space, comma, space, we can say, cool, split based on space, comma, space. And this right here, this little bit of text, this little bit of code just by itself, this is now the order category value in an appropriate type, right? So now it's not a list of lists, it's a list. Now we can actually use the list inside like all of the list operators that AppSheet has that we can do so that we can, slice and dice or whatever. We can do that now. And so the idea is, what I want to say is like, is this product's category. So if we look here, right, we're on the customer product and there's this value, like this product is this category. Okay, so is this value inside this list? So we just wrap all of this in an in, kind of clean it up so that it looks nice. It's easy to read. And we got like that, like that. So the idea behind this formula now is two things. First, is the customer the same customer? Like, because this is filtering the customer products, right? And so does the customer match the customer? And is this customer's category inside the actual categories that we've selected for the building order? So if we save this, when this comes back, this list over here did you see it? Number 3 went away really quick. You can catch it sometimes if you see. What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining the live stream. Do appreciate it. I'm going to do a comments, questions section at the end. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. So we can see now we've got a building order with the ability to select 2 categories, and only those 2 categories are selected. Happy days. Let's see how responsive this is, right? Because sometimes that's the crux of a system that you'll build, is that you'll put something together like this, but like the functionality itself isn't responsive. Like when I push the button, it doesn't change. I have to wait for some things to go by. Let's see. So if I push the button and I go and I look really quick, hey, category 3 is there. So with it being responsive like this, like I have the ability to come over here and do this. Yeah, I think I'm going to change this view. I'm going to get rid of this grouping. Yeah, and I'm just going to leave this like this, because now I can be like, cool, just show me category 3, and I know this is all category 3. Or I could do 1 and 2, and like I know these are 1 and 2. It'd be kind of nice to see what category a product belongs to on this view. But you can't do that with the card. We only have these 2 things. So maybe I get rid of the description and put the category here. No, do not like that. Category up top. Yeah, I think I'll just do it like this, because then you've got the ability to, like, you could do this singular if you wanted, right? Boom, I got what I want. Nice. Hello, hello. Yeah, man. So that's really about it. That's all there is really to including some sort of live filter type thing like this, right? You really need the space in the system to store like the different categories. Obviously, you need space for somebody to actually make a selection and to store like what are they actually doing. A lot of times that's where like you would put that in your user table. Like if you're doing an enhanced dashboard, right? That's where all of those controls go. this thing that I made here, the shopping cart. So this kind of, in a way, is almost like an enhanced dashboard now. Like, if I wanted to, I could make in fact, I will really quick. I'm just curious to see what this would look like. Like, I could make a dashboard where I've got the building order detail, and then I've got the customer products. And like, if I made this tall and did that, you know what I mean? Like, ooh, we're getting all fancy now. And then we can, oh, hold up, we can do stuff like this. Like, this is the order screen that you see on the PC. Building order. Like, I'll call this order. I'll call this the same thing as I did over here. I'll put this in the same position as that one left. And then I'll make these guys. So this would be computer building order. Oh yeah. And I'm going to make this only visible if the context host equals, I can't remember what the keyword is. I can never remember. Context. I could never remember. All right, here we go. So, host. Yep. Okay. Browser is what I'm looking for. So I'll just copy that value. If it equals browser. All right. I'm going to copy that whole formula. And on the building orders, this is now like the device-based one. So I'm going to come in here. So I need to wrap this in an and so that we can keep the original statement that was there and then drop in my new thing that I want. But it's not browser for this one. This one is, what was it? Device. That's it. I'm just going to copy that and put it here. And I guess I need to include this is not blank building orders thing on my PC building orders thing. Yeah. So we like do something like this. There we go. So if we're on a browser and there's a building order, show this guy. Because now it's like, oh, ooh, look at that. Oh, look how responsive it is. Oh, I like it when things work. Oh my God, that's dope. I like it when things work, don't you? Oh man. So we got a little bit of a bonus in this one, in this version of the app. It's not only did you get the ability to filter for products, but I also gave you a enhanced dashboard if you're using a PC with the with the ability having the dynamics to understand if I'm using the native app or if I'm using a browser. Okay, now there's a little weirdness inside there because like you could be using the app on a browser on your mobile device, and in which case context host returns browser because you're using the browser, you're not using the app. So there could fall into a little weirdness depending on how you share your app with people this way, but generally people, if they're using the app, they're usually using the app. Like if they're on their phone, they're usually using the app. And if they're on the PC, they're obviously using this based thing. What happened? Oh, I know what happened. I'm like, I was looking inside here and I'm like, microphone problems. I was looking in here and I'm like, wait a minute, what happened to this dashboard? Where is the building order detail? But I hid the building order detail. Yeah, so what I really need to do, it's like I could copy that, you know, I could just like copy this, put it in the ref position, and now, but I mean, I have a system made detail view, so I think I'm going to use that one, and what I'll do is I'll just make this look like the other one, right? So like this is the categories. And then I have like, what was it? If I go and look at my original thing, the thing that I usually do here is I'll use Windows to take a screenshot so that I can just look at this original column order. When I'm down here on this new one, I can just bring this back up real quick and be like ID status categories. So like this is down here, this is up here. We have status, we have categories, and related order details. Boom. And now the root one looks like the other one. I'm going to add this root one into my dashboard. So if I go here, instead of building order details, I want this to be building orders detail. I'm going to give this other thing a better name so that it's not so close to the original root name. Device building order detail. Yes, let's do that. This is building order dashboard. Do it that way, save it, see if I get any angry things. Nope, looks like we're good. So, I'm on a PC. I wonder if I switch. Does it switch? Oh, that's too bad. It'd be really dope if, like, I'm on mobile. It should return context host mobile. Hey, any AppSheet people that are watching, should you watch this, there's a feature request for you. Make the live preview thing actually return the context host that matches the thing. That'd be super helpful. But like, boom, I'm here. And then like, I'm just going to assume it works the other way. That's how I roll, right? Yeah. So now I've got like this, and I can scroll down and see the customer products down here, but like, or I could just go over here. Hey, best of both worlds, right? This is dope. I really kind of like how responsive this is. You know, a lot of times when you set things up like this, you can get that lag that's going on, and it can be hard to tell when something is going to have that lag behind it. Really nice to see this is updating 100% live. Anyways, yeah, that's it, guys. That's all I got for this week. I see nobody's got any burning questions for me. I do appreciate y'all sticking around to the end of the stream. If you want to show your support, give this a like, maybe subscribe. If you really want, you can head on over to patreon.com/MultiTech. I got a lot of goodies over there to kind of help you get some advanced stuff done faster, if you will. You guys really, the Patreons really drive what happens inside this last little bit of the Patreon of this live stream, because it's all about what the Patreon supporters want me to do. So keep the questions coming. Another little quick tag. If you have any kind of cool things that you find out there in the wild that could integrate with AppSheet, or maybe it already does, or maybe like Zapier or Integromat or somebody else comes out with some new fandangled thing that works with AppSheet, I've got a form where you can submit news articles for the news section. Head on over there and fill it out. Until then, y'all, I do appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see y'all in the community.